Hey guys, what's up? This is Shark talking. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about the second banner for SaGa Frontier Remastered. It's the IRPO banner. We have Fuse, Doll, and Cotton as SS styles, and then we have an A Silence and an S Rabbit. Those two styles don't have any SS styles even now in Japan, so not even for Inheritance. I think they will release another SS in the future, but we'll just focus more on Cotton, Fuse, and Doll. This banner, because it has only 3 SSs, it means that you also have a chance of an off banner. While the past banner with Rufus, Annie, Liza, Emilia, and Ren didn't have, because it was 5 SSs, it was the best banner we received in this game so far. This one still offers some choices, but I still believe the first banner is better. But some characters here can be pretty strong. You have to decide upon your gems. But let's start giving a look on Cotton. Cotton only has this SS style, nothing else, and I don't know if he will keep getting styles. It's a very unpopular character. It's a monster on SaGa Frontier Remastered, and here he does not change forms. It's just this form all time, but it's pretty fun. I think that he has one of the most interesting designs recently. As you can see, you get more STR and agility with this style, so it will not be so hard to increase those 2 values because they are the best values for this guy. He's a martial artist. Now let's giving a look on the modifiers. STR has 89%, that's pretty high for any martial artist. Then agility on 97, also pretty high. It's high for Japan. Now imagine for global. These are probably the highest values. I think he can compare to Liza. Let's give a look on Liza. He has 89 and 97. Let's give a look on Liza. 89. He has 97. She has 99. But she's a totally offensive character. That kind of makes sense. And Cotton only loses a little on agility. And Cotton also gets bonuses on STR and agility here as well. So very high standards. Also can be used for evade strategies, pretty fine, especially with Matriarch around the corner. The endurance and will are also pretty high, so this guy is almost a tank. He can be considered a tank. I can regard him as a tank, and a very specific type of tank. Usually martial artists don't have that much endurance and will. We can also compare him to Liza, because Liza is also currently available. Let's just give a look on her. And you can see it's 62 and 63. Cotton has higher. Yeah. Because he can be used on the front lines. He will likely be used on front lines. And now we have some interesting values for Charm and Love, because he self-heals. That's pretty nice. Very bad values for Intelligence, because he does not use Intelligence at all. I believe that his status distribution is very well designed. Everything that he needs, he has. Now for the first skill, call it a pretty hit. It's a self-sustain attack. It has a D modifier, very close to C, and 13 power. Recovery power of 5, so the recovery is not so high. We can even check here, they have the calculations for pretty hit. The pretty hit heals around 100, probably right now on global. It's not so high. It's the same as the passive healing for Ren. And at least it's almost free. It's only 1 BP. It still does damage, so you cannot complain on this. Then the second attack is called Round Only. I don't know the name of this on global. It can be used with 5 VP on Fully Awakened. The power is B, 24 modifier. It's not so high, but you have to understand that because it's 5 VP, not many other characters will have A power. The only exception is Liza itself. Liza has a skill with 5 VP and A power, but it has delay, so you have to pay the price to have an A power with 5 VP. You will not find this easily. Yeah, Giant Swing has an A power 30 modifier. 30, and then Cotton has lower. Well, it's understandable, especially because of the special effect of the skill. The damage is high because of the status, and then also good because of the recovery power. It's 15, but 15 is not just triple, it's even higher. We have to compare by looking here as well. Look on the healing. The first one pretty hit, it's around 100, and Round Only will have around 500 HP heal. Very similar to the heal of Mirza. Very similar. But it's only self. But it doesn't also use LP, so you can use this forever. Actually, you'll be using this skill a lot of times. You will start by using this skill, and then you just use the first one, and then go back to the second. In boss fights, he will recover 500, then 100, then 500, then 100. In boss fights, he's just almost unkillable if you are using evade strategies, or well, if you are using also Narwhal's daughter to increase his status even further. And if you increase his status even further with Narwhal's daughter, she also increases the healing of Cotton. I believe that Cotton can heal like 600 and something with a buff from Narwhal's daughter. That's a pretty high value for a character that can be used as a tank. Now, we will discuss his tank values a little further. Then he has this third skill called Fumitsuki. It's actually Stomp in global. Because of his release, now other characters that use Stomp will also be able to upgrade Stomp. Yeah, let's give a look here. These are all the characters that have Stomp. Right now, Ricky has it, and Ricky is now very powerful because of Stomp Plus. Yes, Ricky has 2 damage passives, and well, he was lacking some damage. Now he can do some damage. The same can be said for Cat. Summer Cat can now inherit Stomp from her SS Platinum style, the first one, and she can do even more damage. In the future, characters like the female human from Game Boy SaGa collaboration will also be able to upgrade this before the original time. In Japan, Stomp Plus was a recent thing. But now, because of the release of Cotton, all characters that have Stomp can upgrade it. Even our Red Turnip. Yes. Also, Dentarg. I don't think it's worth, but yeah, you can upgrade this as well. Returning to Cotton, Stomp Plus is a triple S damage attack with 62 modifier. It's very similar to, let's compare this attack. So this is a list of 3 and 4S damage dealers in Japan, for blunt only. And this list does not include multi-hitters, it's only single-hit attacks. Starting with Boston and Liza, they are on the top of their games, but they have very costly skills. 18 and 17, so this translates to 15 and 14. They can still be used on turn 2 because of other passes, but after the first usage, it's very hard to use them again. Very, very costly. Then we have some others with less cost. Ace in the Glass is good because it has double elements, just the same as Cat Rhapsode. This is Halloween Cat and Human Female from Game Boy SaGa. Then we see Liza, and she has a 14 cost, but she can use it on start of a fight because of a passive that increases 1 more BP. But after the first usage, you have to wait around 4 turns to be able to use this again. It's a pretty powerful attack, not only because it's strong, but because Liza has 3 damage passes, 50% increasing damage. So that's also the reason why she deals very high damage. Then we have some other characters like Cordelia. She has a triple S damage very close, but well, she doesn't have the status or the passives to compare to Liza. And then there are some other releases that are not on global yet. There is also Rofus, but Rofus was changed for global. He opens with a double S power, and then he goes for a 4S damage attack. That is both blunt for the first hit and slash for the second hit. He's a little different, you know. You guys probably saw him already. And then we can compare to Sweet Trap. Remember, Sweet Trap can be used with Bride Emilia, and it has been used forever now. It's a very powerful attack. In global, it's also Pierce, so it became even better. After that, we have Super Gravity with very similar power to Stomp Plus. Super Gravity uses 15 BP. At least it has a debuff for agility, but it's too costly. Can only use this in 4 turn cycles. Stomp Plus is different. It only uses 9 BP when you have this awakened. So you can always use this every 3 turns. So normal attack 2 times and then Stomp Plus. The power is pretty awesome. Triple S damage and 62 modifier. Almost the same as Sweet Trap, with 2 BP less. If you compare this to Liza, Liza has a 68 modifier, while our Stomp Plus has only 12. Liza needs 4 turns. Cotton will only need 3 all the time. That is if he does not need to heal, if you want to do just damage. It's also interesting to compare to some other skills that cost way more, like this one, this other one here, and many others. Even Gong Ringer that will be upgradable in the future is 60 modifier, while we have 62 with Stomp Plus. And now back to Cotton. Even though Stomp is very powerful, it will not do the same damage as Liza. Only in one situation the damage can be very similar, and this situation is on Overdrive, because it has Overtension. Overtension increases the damage by 15 at all times, plus 15 on combos, and plus 15 on overdrive. So in overdrive is 45% increase in damage. Liza has 50% increase in damage, a little more agility, and a little more power. But in overdrive, you will see similar results. That means in longer fights, you take 4 turns to get into overdrive. The same can be said for Liza. So she will probably be using her nuke in overdrives all the time. And after an overdrive, she will just keep using normal attack till she gets VP. And when she gets VP, she will probably be on overdrive again. So in long fights, again, Cotton will not perform so badly when compared to Liza. Long fights. As an opener, he cannot compare to Liza. This must be said because he is also a tank and a self-healer. Don't think that he can do the same damage. But for long fights, you know, he may be better because he can self-heal and he uses less cyclings for damage. Well, we said about overtension. Now it's time to talk about the other 2 passives. Well, pre-step, it's very interesting because it's 3 effects. Well, he has a 40% chance of avoiding direct attacks. So if the boss has direct attacks, you will probably want to use this guy. And if he avoids the attack, he will counter with pre-hit. Pre-hit is the first skill. That heals around 100. So he attacks. This attack is not that bad. It's deep power, but, well, very close to C. And he has very good status. He also gets overdrive when he counters. And then he will also taunt. He avoids, counter, and increase taunt hate. So he will be more attacked after he counterattacks. Pretty nice for a character that wants to be attacked. Although he doesn't have the highest endurance or will values, these values are pretty nice already. Okay? And he can also evade if you have very high agility. If you are using him with Matriarch, he will be evading a lot. So the second passive, Support Poster, is pretty awesome. It has 2 different effects. At the start of every turn, he will give 15% increase in damage to a random ally. Can be him, can be any other. 15% increase in damage. That's similar to Award Sophia. She also had this. But not only this, but also 10% guard up. That is 10% decrease in incoming damage. So all damage against this character will be reduced by 10%. I don't know if this stacks. It does stack in Sophia case for damage, but for defensive, I think it should also stack. And because it lasts for 2 turns. On the second turn, you will sometimes reapply this to some character. That's why I'm saying that it should probably stack. So he helps people survive a little. Not much, but he helps a little. Helps increase damage of someone. Is a counter unit. Increases damage on overdrive. Gets more overdrive faster, just like Red. Not as much. Gets overdrive faster than other characters. And has very good status. He can be used for evasion. He can be used as tank. He can be used as single target nuker. He only lacks an AoE option. Yeah, that's the only thing missing from this guy to say that he's like a perfect design. But it's okay because, well, he's mostly for boss fights. You can use him for farm if you want to use Stomp as an opener. Compared to the characters that we have right now, the damage will be pretty fine. If you're a starting player, using the second skill on cycling should also be pretty useful because it allows him to keep healing so he doesn't die. And for story mode, it should be pretty good as well. He may not bring too much for Zwig, Hidden Dojo, or anything else, but for challenges, he's like a champ. So, well, I do regard him as one of the top tier characters in this moment of the game. Hopefully he gets a future style with more focus on AoE so that he becomes even better. Which formation do you want to use with Cotton? It can be Tiger Shark if you want, but Tiger Shark should be mostly for fights that are only direct attacks. He can also be used on Rainbow Rangers just fine. He can also be used on Sigmoid. Sigmoid, he works pretty fine. And because, well, let's give a look on something. His first attack that gives taunt is pretty cheap. So you really don't need Tiger Shark because of this. If you use this on the start of a fight against a challenge, he will get a lot of taunt chances, so he will even be more attacked in a Rainbow Rangers formation without a need of Tiger Shark. Then, if your boss do not have a direct attack, you can still focus only on surviving by using the second skill, and you should ignore the counter rate and focus on probably on evasion. by bringing someone that can increase evasion by increasing agility, like Narwhal's daughter or the Matriarch. And lastly, you can use him for pure damage if you want. If you already have Mirza, Mirza also works well with him. He can just focus on using Stomp Plus every time that he gets on overdrive. Like I said, he gets faster overdrive because of overtension and counter. So probably every time that you have an overdrive, you also have BP to use Stomp Plus. It's a pretty interesting combination of different utilities. And now let me say something. I will not be giving grades to this banner as well, because they are kind of over the top. They are better than most of what we have right now. But he will be on the top because he's comparable to Liza sometimes. He does not have good opener. I mean, it's good, but he does not have the passives to just overcome Liza or Rofus or even Emilia. But he offers more utility for challenges. He is a little more restricted. If you want to use him for farming, he will only work in stages that have only 1 or 2 enemies, maybe some conquests where you have only 1 boss. It will really depend. But you will use him a little less than, say, Rofus, Liza, and Emilia. But when you use him, you see how good he is. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be releasing the review of the other characters after this one. Give me some hours and I'll be releasing. I think it's better for you to watch without having to watch a long video. And, well, if you want to support the channel, you can use the links on the description of the video. Join our Discord server, give a like, and comment. We see each other on the next one. Bye.